And welcome back to another episode of the Horrormongers. I'm one of the co-hosts, Zach.
I'm Matt.
I'm Brad.
And today's episode is an episode on remakes. Well, it's a recurring theme of remakes. It's one thing we're going to do.
One of the first.
Actually, I believe they're called reboots.
Reboots. No, a reboot's completely different than a remake.
Yeah, it's just a fancier term.
No, not at all. We're going to start off in an argument. I like this. A remake is a reimagining. A reboot is a resetting of. So it's like a starting over.
Uh-huh. I believe you.
Well, for today's episode, we're doing Evil Dead, and it's not a reboot by any means.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I believe you.
So today's episode has a recurring theme. We're going to do remake versus original. We really like this idea because in horror, it's a kind of a unique genre where there's a lot of remake movies.
So it's not so unique.
Well, no, in horror, it's unique in the way where they have a lot of. Like other genres don't have that as much. Like comedy, you don't see it nearly as often.
You don't see a remake of Tommy Boy.
Yeah. God, that'd be great if there were.
Why? That'd be terrible.
I guess Chris Farley couldn't be in it.
Yeah. No shit.
They could. Bring back Chris Farley.
They could have Kevin James be...
God, now you just ruined it.
All right, cut the podcast off.
So today, it's a recurring thing, because we already have the next remake versus original planned. It's going to be Black Christmas, we said?
Yeah. I don't know it's got to be black, but all right.
Yeah. God, getting racial and political right from the get-go. So we're going to go through the whole, what we always do. We renamed News because I was sick and tired of people saying Nudes. It is now called, what are we calling it?
Terror Dispatch.
Terror Dispatch.
Question. Can I still be nude while we talk about Terror Dispatch?
I prefer
Yeah, we're still getting naked.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I can't do this with my clothes on. Terror Dispatch. And we actually do have an update for the Horrormongers, for the 3 or 4 of you that listen. We did start a Patreon. We are professional beggars.
Yeah.
We're panhandlers. We have a Patreon. The tier system right now for backers are about to be reworked because right now we have physical rewards and we feel like it should be a separate thing. And I'm also going to lower the different tiers. And we just really appreciate if anyone just chip in even $1. Just $1 a month. It also shows legitimacy because we are trying to really kind of grow. Our Instagram we do have an Instagram. It's about to become a lot more active.
I'm growing right now.
Yeah, you're growing. Matt, over here, you are going to be kind of in charge of the Instagram coming up.
Yeah.
So there's that. We are on Twitter. Follow us there. Facebook group, of course. Patreon, Facebook, Twitter. We're starting to grow, man.
Yeah.
Really proud of ourselves.
We're getting all out there.
Yeah. Brad is now playing on his fancy new laptop.
Yeah.
Yay, it's
Brad's
so
got
slow.
a laptop now.
Yeah, so we can actually look up stuff instead of yell at each other and say that you're wrong. That's the big news for the Horrormongers themselves. Is there anything else we're doing to grow? I mean, we're really trying to kind of grow, be more and more professional.
Yeah. Get more out there with our name.
I'm kind of upset that I had to pay for this laptop out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
No one helped me out.
No. Now anyone who helps it just gonna go towards my laptop. So yeah, do you want to just jump right into the movies that we've watched the past 2 weeks or so?
No, I'm kind of tired.
Kind of tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it
I think we're
anymore.
going to take a nap right now.
No, we haven't watched any movies at all. So for Terror Dispatch, we've watched 3 movies. Is that what we landed on? The 3 movies?
Yeah,
I've
I've
watched more than 3.
I didn't get a chance to watch one though.
I've got 3.
But you've seen it before. Oh no, you didn't watch.
I didn't watch Murder Party.
You're not missing much. We'll start with that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Murder Party. Brad, why don't you go ahead first? Oh yeah, by the way, before we start, we're now spoilers. We decided to go spoilers on the Terror Dispatch, and especially the theme, mainly so we could really discuss it more, because we're kind of dancing around the issue, and Matt Logan's everything.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Logan yet, he dies at the end.
So we're officially spoilery. We will take any feedback into consideration. We can start putting markers, like when we start spoiling and not spoiling things, but for this episode I'm not, because I'm lazy. Hey,
you have been warned.
Yeah, if you pay us. We're gonna start extorting money. I still have the time. I got a job, you know. I got a job, kind of. So, Murder Party. Brad, why don't you give a synopsis for Murder Party?
All right. Well, Murder Party came out in 2007.
Oh, guys,
it
his
was
laptop.
It was directed by Jeremy Saulnier. I have no idea who that is. I'm just excited that I'm able to look up information easier now.
Has he directed anything else?
I don't know. I'm not going to click on it.
It's not worth it. It sucks. Spoilers.
So this nerdy guy finds this invitation to a party.
Yeah, like on the street.
On the street, yeah. And it's an invitation to a Halloween party. And it says it's called Murder Party. And he's like, yeah, I got nothing else going on. Let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
So he dresses up in this like shitty cardboard night outfit.
Best part of the movie.
Oh, the most horrifying scene in the whole movie is toward the beginning. He goes home and pours a whole bowl of candy corn. And I almost threw up.
Yeah, he takes like be respectful. I think it's a sign that says or something along those lines. Like people are going to be clamoring for candy corn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he puts it out for the kids. So
Yeah.
he was eating it himself.
Yeah.
And then he decides, I guess I'll go to this party. But unbeknownst to him, the party
It is a murder party.
yeah, it's literally a murder party. He shows up and the people were like, "Oh, hi. We're going to murder you."
Yeah, so they knock him out, tie him up, and they go, "This is a murder party. I can't believe someone showed up to it. It literally says an invitation murder party." And so that's like the rest of the movie is him being held hostage by these people who have a plan to murder him for art because it's very pretentious. They're all artists in different forms. Like one's a videographer, the other one's a painter, I think. Can't remember what the other person does. Like they're all different forms of art.
Yeah.
And there's a patron. A patron.
Speaking of which, we have a Patreon now.
Sounds like a weird transformer. The Patron.
That's going to give them like a grant. He says $100,000 or $300,000 grant that he's going to give them, and so they're trying to turn this murder into art. They're going to murder this guy for art. What else? What else goes on in this movie? He's tied up. It's kind of a comedy. I mean, it is a comedy, but I didn't find it very funny.
No, I think it had some funny moments, especially because I was like watching with subtitles.
Yeah.
And like one of the things, it was just so generic. Like during one of the fight scenes, it said intense, frightening music. That's all it said.
So the subtitles were funny, not the movie. You're telling me.
That was just one thing. But I thought one thing, they actually said the word horrormonger on it, and I was like, hee.
Oh, the actual horrormonger.
Horrormonger, yeah. And I was like, it's close.
us.
No way, really? Oh, I should have watched it.
No, horrormonger, not horrormonger.
Oh.
See,
Yeah.
the basis.
Wait, we're the horror one?
Yeah.
With the W.
The whole basis of the joke of our name, because we're like 12 years old.
It's like M as in Mancy.
So, okay, they say whoremonger. He's tied up. They argue. Subtitles are hilarious. What else?
Not much more after that. The end.
The end.
No.
Well, how does it end?
One of the things I actually liked about the movie is it kind of reminded me of a really shitty, low budget, not very well acted or written Tarantino movie.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of dialogue. It was
Mostly
like
dialogue.
it was one space that the whole place was shot, or the whole movie was shot in.
Yeah.
Up until the very end, which was like a huge chase scene, which got very interesting. You gotta admit.
Yeah, the ending was a little better, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the last 15 minutes of it was
Yeah.
a whole chase scene.
It became more horror.
Yeah, but up until then, it was a bunch of pretentious artists that were trying to just make movies or make art, whatever,
out of his murder, and they're
Yeah.
talking about how great their art is. And they play a game of like Truth or Dare under barbiturates, Truth Serum. Or
Oh,
whatever
that's
you
one
wanna
thing I
call
found funny. The Patron guy.
it. Patron.
He brings some like weird Russian guy with him.
He's his drug dealer.
Yeah, it's his drug dealer, and he's like just like handing out drugs to everyone, but he starts injecting everyone with truth serum. Or was it like
I just said barbiturates.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He was kind of
Sodium
a-
penthol.
He was kind of a bitch.
Is that it? Sodium penthol? Is that what they call
Yeah,
it?
sodium something.
Yeah.
But it turned everyone into a bunch of bitchuits.
Well, that's because, that's what barbiturates do. It just makes you there's no such thing as actual truth serum. It just
Yeah.
makes you so fucking high that,
Yeah,
like, you
they
just...
They all just start blurting
Yeah.
out stuff like.
Yeah. That's how real truth serum works.
Like I still wet the bed kind of thing. I don't
Yeah.
know. I forget what they were saying.
And anyway, eventually it comes out that the patron is a sack of shit liar. And he's a pretentious douchebag who's a poser. He doesn't even know anything about art.
Oh, that's right. They injected him with it.
Yeah.
And he's like, my name... Like, he had some name, like, what was it, like...
Art Vandelay? I don't know.
Oh, actually, I can look it
For
up.
those of you listening that know that reference, Art Vandelay, good on you. You are now my new best friend. Hey, Matt, you know where Art Vandelay's from?
Art Vandelay?
Yeah. Art Vandelay, the pseudonym Art Vandelay. Seriously?
Hold on, I could look it up and...
The guy's name was Alexander.
Yeah.
That was him, right?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm more upset that you guys don't know who Art Vandelay
Who
is.
the fuck is Art Vandelay?
No one here watches Seinfeld?
Oh, isn't that George's?
Yeah, fuck both of you. We're done. We're done. God, I can't believe you guys don't watch Seinfeld or never watch Seinfeld.
Anyway, no, his
seen
name's
a
like
couple
Alexander,
episodes.
and at one point he's like,
Yeah.
oh, my name's actually Tim.
Yeah. Such a shitty name.
Yeah, who's named Tim?
Yeah, who calls himself Tim?
Definitely no one that's been on this show.
Yeah. Tiny Tim. That's his new
Ooh.
nickname. Just like how I'm...
Awesome. You've all heard it first before Tim has.
Yeah, so he's like a poser and there's never a real thing. And then one of the artists guys, he kind of snaps.
Ooh, one of my favorite parts of the whole movie is one of them gets caught, like one of them, I think he was he was drinking booze.
Yeah, he spills
like
all over
really
himself.
strong booze. It was like moonshine or some shit.
Yeah.
He spills all over himself because he's hammered drunk. And at one point he goes outside to light a cigarette. Well, that goes wrong.
Oh, so let me guess. He lights himself on fire.
He's completely engulfed in flames.
By the way, all this what we've been talking about has been happening while this guy has been duct taped to a chair.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The main guy is duct taped to a chair. He's about to be murdered, and they're like pretentious douchebags arguing and stuff. And so
he's engulfed in flames, but the funny part about it is one of the girls in the whole thing, as a couple other people were arguing, she goes outside and she sees this. She runs back in. She's like, so-and-so's on fire. And they're just continuing the conversation as she runs to get a fire.
Okay.
A fire
I will say one of the
extinguisher.
best parts is when the guy is like taking photographs of him, and like what does Alexander do to him, or the one artist like bashes him in the head or shoots him.
Oh, I can't remember.
Like
I
he's
have
like
a shitty memory. I watched this days ago.
Yeah, I watched this like a week ago. But like he's like, man, stop! You're ruining my shot. Let me just finish. And like he's like literally dying, and he's like just wants to finish the shot.
Oh,
because he's like making art.
yeah.
That was kind of funny. Honestly, this movie to me is kind of forgettable because I didn't like it. I didn't.
I thought it was decent. It's worth a watch.
We'll give a rating in a second. Let's talk about the end real quick.
Oh, hold on. I want to talk about the credits real quick because I found out an interesting fact. The cat named Sir Lancelot in the movie, the guy's cat.
Really like to use your laptop now.
No, I had this already written out.
Oh, okay.
The actual name of the cat was Puff Snooty.
Puff Snooty?
Yeah.
Snooty.
I found that hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
I might have been drunk while watching it. I don't know.
Start laughing. Puff Snooty!
I did. I'm pretty sure I laughed pretty hard.
All right, so the ending, basically, during all this chaos, a guy on fire, the patron being a poser liar, and then some guy going crazy.
The guy gets away.
He gets away during this confusion.
Yeah.
Kerfuffle.
Because everyone starts killing each other because they all get mad
Yeah.
at each other, and he gets away, and then there's this epic chase scene.
Yeah, because this
through
one
the
guy
roof-
has
the
snaps.
roofs of New York,
And he's like chasing him with oh my god, a bat? Really? I
Yeah.
swear we've watched this.
Oh no, he's a.
He's one of the
they were all
warriors.
dressed in costumes.
He's one of the warriors from the,
he's
the
the
Warriors.
characters from the Warriors. Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
chasing around with a baseball bat.
Oh no way! Does he dress up as the warrior character?
One of the guys is
the baseball outfit with the
So-
white paint and like the
Oh,
black
okay.
eye. Or
I feel like we shouldn't give away the actual ending though.
sure,
Maybe.
because
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's not worth watching. But yeah. Okay, so anyway,
No,
he chases
it is
him,
worth watching.
and that's where nudity does occur. If you're waiting for nudity, it happens.
Nudes.
Like near the very end, there is some nudity.
Oh yeah, it is at the very end.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's give a quick review of it. Do you want me to go first? Since
Yeah, go for it.
all right, so obviously we should like come up with our own rating instead of 1 out of 10. Like, watch it, don't watch it, fuck off.
I mean, I say watch it.
I'm gonna give it obviously 5 is average, of course. I'm giving it a 3.
Wow.
3.
I give it like a 5.5.
You're full of shit. It's a terrible movie. Don't listen to Brad.
All right, fine. I'll give it a 5. Just a solid 5.
Just a solid 5.
Yeah, just not a 5.5.
Mine's a
solid 5
Mine's
out
a
of 10.
shaky 3.
Oh, hey, I'm reading up. Fun fact.
God, you this laptop. All right.
More like this movie, Terrifier.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Terrifier was so much better.
Can we
Yeah.
talk about Terrifier for like a solid...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Have we mentioned Terrifier on this show?
Anyway, you should watch Terrifier instead of this Murder Party.
I agree with
Green
Matt.
Room. Green Room was one of them.
Our
that a
Green Room
porno?
was pretty good.
Green Room? That's a good movie. We should talk about that in another episode. It's a good movie.
Okay.
It's not really a horror movie.
Yeah, it's porno.
It's intense.
Oh, is it The Green Door?
Yeah, it is
It's a classic
intense.
1970s porno.
That might be Green Door.
Might be Green Door, yeah.
It's notable because it's interracial. That's
Yeah, Green Room has Patrick Stewart in it.
never
Yes,
seen
it does. I forgot about that.
Never seen it, I don't think, then.
We should...
Oh yeah, should we mention a death that happened
In what?
in the whole Marvel universe?
Oh, yeah. I guess it's not really horror
happened.
related,
yeah,
but it just happened.
it's something that
I'm a
probably-
huge comic book nerd.
Yeah.
So this really hit me like harder than like when anyone else will ever die, including my parents. If you're listening, sorry about that and mentioning
Oh, they
porn.
probably don't.
Stan Lee is dead. Which
Yeah. Dead at 95.
yeah. BJ mentioned how did he die? How did he die?
I don't know how he died.
You said he
95 years
he
old.
flipped his Harley.
It could be. I don't know. The guy lived an interesting life. We don't know.
Did you say flip his Harley?
That's an old joke. Yeah,
that's
Stan
great.
Lee is dead, which is like shocking. That's like really the most horrifying thing I've heard
Yeah.
in quite a while. But yeah,
Betty White's still alive, though.
yeah, I don't care.
How old is Betty White?
Around the same age.
Yeah, again, I don't care about Betty White. I'm weird.
Yeah.
I'm not in all the whole meme thing. Stan Lee, I care about because I like comics. Him and Ditko. Ditko died too this year. You guys don't know who he is.
Betty White's 96.
Co-creator of Spider-Man.
Betty White's older than
Bruce Willis.
I almost said Bruce Lee. Stan Lee.
Yeah, well. Okay, so we all came to consensus. Don't watch Murder Party, including Brad. You said
Okay.
that. Just
Matt said he loved it. It was his favorite movie.
Yeah, haven't seen it yet.
let's talk about a movie you have seen. Brad, what movie do you want? Out of the three we watched, there's two more. Which one?
Green Room.
God, I hate you. This laptop is not good because he has ADD already. I'm going to shut the laptop.
No, okay, Sleepaway Camp 2.
All right.
It's called
Yeah.
Unhappy Campers. I actually didn't realize that.
Oh, Sleepaway Camp 2. So we talked about Sleepaway Camp Un.
It came out. This is actually kind of important. I think the original was in 1983.
Something like that, yeah.
This came out in 1988, so it was like 5 years later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is important to know. It's been 5 years because they
From a
kind of
whole-
mentioned that in the movie.
Yeah,
From
very
a whole
beginning of the
different
movie.
production
Yeah.
company and all that.
Yeah.
Probably like directors and
yeah.
producers and all that.
Oh, the popularity for this movie has a big red line that's pointing down.
Okay, so Sleepaway Camp 2 is a sequel to Sleepaway Camp, which is a cult classic, Sleepaway Camp. I got Matt and Brad
Yeah.
to watch it for the first time a couple months ago. You guys watched it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it
wiener
was
scene
good.
was awesome.
Yeah. So again, spoilers are ahead, and I want to preface this with saying I'm going to probably spoil the first movie. So just a heads up if you don't want to.
I mean, if you haven't seen it at this point, I mean, I felt kind of shitty for not seeing it.
Yeah, because I want to mention one thing I felt like I was missing from Sleepaway Camp 2.
The wiener scene.
The wiener scene. So the very end of spoiler, very end of Sleepaway Camp 1, the big twist ending is that the girl all along was the boy.
Yeah.
He was a transgender.
I knew that from the first kill. It wasn't a big surprise.
I remember
The
that
end of
ending
Sleepaway
being
Camp
pretty
1?
scary.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about the second one.
No, the end of Sleepaway Camp. That was the huge twist. It's like
Oh, I just said the
he
twist.
has a dick. He has a dick, and like everyone's like freaking out, and he's like he has a creep. That she has a creepy face.
I also called that at the beginning, though, because when the kids fell out, I'm like, oh, that's the boy.
Yeah, well,
But
because
then it turns out the girl was the one that lived. I'm
Because
like, but
the
boy
one time
lived.
that you weren't like oblivious to what was going on in the world, you noticed that the boy was the one who lived. There's like a quick 10-second scene or 2-second scene that the boy survived and the girl was the one face down.
Well, see, in the first Sleepaway Camp, they talked about like who done it, like who's
who's
doing
killing
it,
all the campers.
yeah. And you don't know. But in the second one, it's pretty damn obvious who's doing it.
Yeah, so in the second one, Brad, why don't you talk about it because you were pissed that was supposed to be a twist in the second Sleepaway Camp.
No, I mean, I figured that out in the first kill scene.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. But
the counselor killed the girl, and I was like, she kind of looks like the girl from the original movie. It's a different actress, but she looks
So
she looks like that character.
So in
and I was
Sleepaway
like,
Camp
I
2,
bet that's her.
First off, in Sleepaway Camp 2, it's no secret who's killing people.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, they show who the person killing it. It's the new camp counselor. She's a female. And to no one's surprise, it's the same girl from the first movie.
Yeah.
She's been let out of the insane asylum. She's taken up a new name.
And
all
somehow
that.
she got a job as a camp counselor.
Yep, because they do thorough background checks back in the 80s.
You let her out of her cage.
I thought-
she was feeling just fine.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Well, the first movie is like a straight up horror movie.
Yeah.
But the second one's just like campy and funny.
It's in the title.
Yeah. Yeah, then the second one is definitely... how I described it to you guys was it's a by the numbers slasher from the 80s, right? It kind of hits all those check boxes.
Yeah, everything going on, but there are some new creative kills in
Yes. I really did like the kills.
that. Yeah.
Well, going back to the whole, it's a classic 80s slasher, they actually paid tribute to Freddy, Jason, and Leatherface.
I remember Freddy and...
They were all dressed up as the characters at one point.
Yeah,
They
I know
had-
Jason.
they all had masks
I know
on.
Jason. I know
I
Freddy.
think someone had the Freddy claws, and I think she was wearing an actual face. She cut someone's face off and
that's
was wearing
right.
it.
That's right.
Okay.
So I was like, there's another reference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, it also could be a Hannibal reference.
yeah, okay.
Hello, Clarice.
Pretty sure that came out after the movie, though.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about the books to you.
Wait, there was a book?
So anyway, yeah, Sleepaway Camp 2. I liked it, actually, for where
Yeah,
it was.
it was good.
Oh, it was fantastic for how shitty
Yeah,
it was.
don't come in there thinking it's going to be a super serious movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Oh, it was way funnier than it was serious.
yeah. And, like, they do, like, those, Arnold one-liners after she kills people. Like, she says, like,
Oh,
something
they're
like...
so bad.
Yeah.
At least with Arnold, he's got the funny accent.
Yeah.
Like, stick
I
it
still
out.
need you.
Everybody chill.
Yeah. So she's this camp counselor who's basically punishing anyone who does something naughty. And speaking of naughty, if you like boobies,
There are a ton of boobies.
yeah,
Well, it's mostly the one girl that just shows her boobs all the time.
and aren't they supposed to be like in high school, like 16 or 17?
I don't know.
I don't know too many
Oh,
18-year-olds who go to
that
camp.
is-
Hold on,
something I want to talk about.
Are you suddenly
in the
having a
movie.
morality issue with seeing all these boobs?
Well, I know the actresses aren't, but
I liked in the movie. Well, I didn't like it, but I thought it was strange that there was that huge age group. There were kids in middle school and like people in their 20s.
yeah.
You know.
Oh, it's the 80s. They just look like they're in their 20s.
Yeah. Like, oh, you guys are the same age group.
Yeah.
Oh, let's all do, you know.
I tell you, they're supposed to be. These girls are supposed to be in high school, and they're just
Yeah.
like boobs everywhere. And I'm like,
They're all drinking and smoking and fucking each other. And
yeah. Well, I guess that's why. Oh my god, I can't remember her name.
high school in the 80s sounds awesome.
Yeah, we grew up like we were born in the wrong
Yeah,
decade.
10 years
Or maybe,
too late.
Maybe I
Yeah.
just hung out with the wrong people.
You hung out with.
I
Oh,
hung out with you, you motherfucker.
you did hang out with the wrong people then.
I missed out a lot of shenanigans because of you.
Yeah, it was definitely because of me. You were holding. I was a golden god. I peaked.
Oh, I do want to talk about one scene in that movie, the bathroom scene, how awkward it was.
That was awesome.
No, it was so awkward because all you see is feet
Yeah.
just rustling around, taking off clothes, and most of the time it just seemed like the guy was dragging the girl around.
Yeah.
Like her feet weren't really on the ground.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything sexual yet because her feet were just dragging around the ground. She wasn't unconscious, which I was like, if I couldn't hear the movie, I'd be like, that girl's unconscious. But it just seemed awkward because she's like, oh yeah, and her feet are just dragging around. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
It's like the most awkward sexual experience ever.
I thought it was
They were
funny
in high
how
school
the popular girl had sex with one of the nerdy guys.
She was
And
trying to
they-
get back at the one guy.
Yeah, and then, you
high
know, they
school.
finish up, they're putting on their pants, and she's like, you don't have AIDS or something, do you? After the fact.
Well, it's
that-
the 80s. AIDS were in the 80s.
Yeah.
They call it the AIDSies.
Now that everyone's came,
Well, you know,
I hope I don't have AIDS now.
It's post-coitus regret. Because it's the 80s, so also protection was never worn.
No, yeah.
Yeah, man, it was good times.
yeah, but she was worried about it after.
It was very. I think you also want to mention, like, should we talk about? You want to talk about the racial issues of older movies, like how they can be more racist. You literally go, hey, can we talk about the racial issues of older movies?
Go on.
Okay, fine. No, I'm the jackass.
No, go on.
Well, like how like certain things were more acceptable back then. I can't. Remember,
Absolutely.
I can't remember the scene where they use like a word and.
Which word?
No, not that word.
Say the word.
Not that word. I'd say if I can remember it.
I mean, okay, my biggest, what, I don't know, words. The film I think about when I think of that is Blazing Saddles. Like,
Yeah.
That movie could not be remade today.
Which is really a sad thing.
Yeah.
As you know, I know people will be pissed when I say this. I'm not a fan of Blazing Saddles. Or Mel Brooks. But that's a whole different thing. I don't hate Mel Brooks. I just think he's overrated.
Okay, we are the Horrormongers, we're not talking about comedy movies.
Yeah.
Well, the next episode will be about...
unless we were...
A comedy, yeah.
No, it will be about Mel Brooks and why he's one of the greatest.
Yes. Yeah, because Mel Brooks sucks.
One of the greatest directors of all time.
Yes.
But yeah, no, because in today's society, we're very, for better or worse, we'll keep it neutral, we're politically correct, for better or worse, right? I mean, Blazing
Sometimes.
Saddles could not be created
No,
in today's
not at all.
society.
Not at all.
Even though it's making fun of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not using
But
the...
it's okay because he's a Jewish director. He's allowed to make fun of other people, and he makes fun of Jewish people.
You know, technically, as being half Middle Eastern, and Jews are Middle Eastern, does that mean I get a free pass?
Are you Jewish?
What does that mean anything? I'm Middle Eastern. I'm a Christian Middle Eastern. That's even more of a minority. Huh? Christian Middle Easterners are more of a minority than Muslim and Jewish ones.
Middle Eastern American.
I don't like that word. That's our word. I prefer
Middle Eastern American.
I prefer raghead.
Crackhead. Towel heads.
Oh my god. Okay, now you've crossed the line. It's cool. We're allowed to say this because I am half Middle Eastern. Kind of. Syrian counts. I don't know if Syrian's a Middle East country.
I'm like 1% black, so...
Yeah, you are. He did a DNA test. He won't shut up about it. So...
My stepdad's last name is Tyrone.
Wait, is that true?
No.
So that's a first name.
So you're just being racist for the sake of being racist.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I just want to be included.
All right, so Sleepaway Camp 2. Let's give reviews.
15
Yes.
out of 100.
Seriously, I am going to create a new review, like a way we're going to review things.
So it's kind of hard to review because this is a shitty movie, but we love it because
Yeah,
of what
so
it is.
are
Yeah.
we still going to do a 10 out of 10? Or?
Yeah, well, I mean, for this episode, next episode I'm going to come up with a new rating system.
Okay.
We'll discuss it together, like
So we
more.
discuss it right now.
Yeah.
Waste some more time.
Let's hear everyone.
One out of 10, 5 of course being average. What do you give Sleepaway
I
Camp
can't
2?
give this thing a proper rating. It's
Oh
a
my
terrible
God.
movie.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
It's a
8 out of
terrible
10.
movie that
It's
I love.
terrible, but there are so many kills in it, and it's cheesy, it's dumb, but it's fantastic.
All right.
The very end of it, I gotta mention this.
Go
I
for it.
love the very end of it when she gets in that woman's car. The random woman that picks her up.
80s to the max.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
But she says this line, and she's talking about how she smokes cigarettes. She's like how everyone's got a vice. She's like, I like to smoke. She's like, because I'm too dumb to drink and I'm too fat to fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can relate.
So that's what you give it out of 10?
I give it, I'm too dumb to drink and I'm too fat to fuck.
It's your personal opinion. We're not professional reviewers. What do you give it, like, on your scale? Like, what do you give it?
I have been called this generation's Roger Ebert.
Okay.
So,
How many thumbs do you give it, Roger?
I don't know.
Come on, Roger.
I only have 2.
So you give it a 2 out of 10?
No, I give it like, oh man. I don't know, again, I can't properly rate
Jesus,
this.
I hate you so much.
No, I'm indecisive. I'm indecisive.
I don't know how to rate
I don't
things.
know, maybe 6.5.
Really? You gave Murder Part... Okay.
Better than Murder Party.
You give me shit for saying that I'm like a hard... It's not that I'm critical of movies. It's just I enjoy good movies.
All right.
I give Sleepaway Camp 2 a 7. 7.5 out of 10.
All right.
Nice.
I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it for what it is. It's a by the numbers 80s movie. It's not going to really push boundaries. But if you're looking, I like 80s slashers. That's like my jam. I mean, technically, I guess 78 because I like Halloween, but I mean, I lump Halloween to 80s slashers.
Well, the bulk of the series was made in the 80s.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, Halloween started the whole 80s slasher trend. Let's be honest. I mean, it made it popular at least.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's Leatherface. Texas Chainsaw.
Was
that
that
was 74.
Oh,
well,
really?
70s and 80s had like the best
was...
movies.
I thought that was like 76.
Oh, dude, that movie's
Only
old.
we had a laptop, so you can look that up.
Oh, Texas
You
Chainsaw.
also have one. You never use it
Because I'm using it to record this
Okay,
thing.
Texas Chainsaw.
I'm watching to make sure it's not like screwing up.
Are you looking
I'm
at
in
Texas
charge.
Chainsaw?
Yeah,
I'm saying
it was
78.
I'm saying 76.
It's 1974.
All right, is that what it says?
It
Double,
says
I don't
it right
trust
there.
it. Matt, what
It
does
says
it say?
1974. Yeah, I knew
It
that.
doesn't say 1974.
He's fucking lying. Look at it.
I'm looking. Okay, 74. Brad gets one right.
God damn, that was early.
You know what they say about broken clock?
Yeah.
Even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Well, the thing is, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 came out in the 80s, like the mid 80s.
Yeah, it
Makes
did.
sense.
I think it was,
Like 10 years later or something.
86.
So
12
serious
years
serious
later.
12
question.
years
Serious
later.
question. 'Cause
Long time.
I want candy. Do you have candy? Yeah, I don't
Now?
care. Yeah, right now.
Now?
I don't
I
know.
do.
Because I was thinking about
I've got it hidden.
give me a candy bar.
Why?
I'm hungry.
No.
Do you want me to run up?
Yeah, get
Is
up.
there candy upstairs?
No, he has
Yeah,
candy.
it's totally upstairs.
No, I know where you hide
Go
the
find
candy.
it upstairs.
I don't want to go get it. I know where you hide your
I
candy.
handed the Candyland box.
I'll go get it in a second. The reason I bring it up is first off I'm hungry, but second off the next movie is Devil's Candy.
Oh, it is Devil's Candy.
Yeah. And that wasn't a smart segue to me. I'm actually hungry, and I'm like,
Oh, I thought it was actually a smart segue. You're just a fat ass.
okay, Brad, talk about Devil's Candy. I'm gonna go find your hidden spot.
Devil's Candy, good movie. How do I do this, Zach? I don't know. Where are you going?
Devil's Candy was a good movie.
Okay, my favorite thing about Devil's Candy, it's the bottom one. Oh my god,
It was creepy.
It was creepy.
There was a lot of suspense and creepiness around it.
very suspenseful.
Yeah,
well,
because
the end was suspenseful.
The beginning starts out with a family who moves into a new house, and then the dad's an artist, and they find this like guitar.
Well, the whole thing is it starts out with this guy and was it his sister?
I
that
got
he lives
Snickers.
with?
Huh?
Is it? Oh my god, really? One of my favorite ones out of there? You motherfucker. So does he live with his sister?
On
Is
the
that
very
what it is?
beginning of the movie?
Yeah,
It's-
she's
yes,
like,
because he got out of the insane asylum recently because he killed his mother.
yeah. He's
And
playing,
they move into the house.
Yes.
he's playing the guitar real loud, and his sister comes in. She's like, "I'm taking you back to the what did she say? Looney bin? Mm-hmm. Is that the technical term? I believe." Mm-hmm. Anyway, he's insane. But there's a reason he's playing the guitar so loud. He just keeps playing the same monotone note
Because he
every
hears
time.
the thing in his head.
Yes,
Right.
he hears
Yeah.
voices. So anyway, he kills her. They take him away. This family moves into this house.
On the cheap.
On the what?
On the cheap. Because
On the
murder.
really
yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's a satanic house and, a couple murders there.
Yeah, no big deal.
So yeah, you get like little to nothing.
So, yeah, they move in. They have a whole nice montage scene of them moving in. Montage!
Yeah,
And,
they're all moving in. They're happy. The little girls, putting up like metal posters and.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is
yeah,
my
she's
favorite
like
thing.
dressed in everything in black and.
My favorite thing about the whole movie is the soundtrack.
yeah.
They are huge metalheads. I don't know if anyone knows this out
Well,
there,
it's
but
the-
I love heavy metal.
It's a director. The director's big into metal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Matt hates heavy metal.
I do. I'm more into Christian sounds.
He's a big Creed fan. Now, Matt's also big into heavy metal. Zach likes Creed, actually.
I love Creed, actually. Can you take me higher, man?
Turn my house.
No, I don't like... Okay, I don't hate metal. I just don't like heavy metal.
Heavy metal? What? You don't like metal. Hold on. You like metal, you don't like heavy metal.
I like what's considered almost like hard rock these days. Like
You like radio
Black,
metal.
like Black Sabbath. Metallica's okay. I give you shit for it because I know that's what got you into it, so I can make fun of Metallica. I like Metallica.
You like Iron Maiden.
I do like Iron Maiden, but I don't like the heavy shit you guys listen to. Like it's even harder. Like I don't like.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's too heavy. I don't like.
You wouldn't be in like Cannibal Corpse.
No.
I'm
So-
not- yeah.
So I mean, I anyway.
I think the heaviest concert I saw was Behemoth.
Yeah. See,
They're pretty heavy.
like I don't know anything about metal. I know metal bands like Mastodon and all that. I just not in.
Oh, Mastodon's pretty good.
They're kind
Yeah.
of
You
they're
need to
kind of
go
like
to a
Metallica level, right? Mastodon.
Yeah,
Like,
Mastodon's...
They're not like harder than Metallica.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
Mastodon's like their own thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what subgenre to put them in because, would you agree, Matt?
Yeah.
They are their own subgenre. I mean, they don't even have like choruses or anything. They're
I don't
really
even
weird.
understand Mastodon anymore.
They're
They opened
great.
up for Primus.
Yeah,
Last time we saw
Mastodon
them.
and Primus. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great. They're weird metal. I mean, they're fantastic. I
Man,
love
that
them.
Snickers was good.
Yeah, you took the whole thing in one gulp. It looked like.
I got another one.
Are you shitting me? You taking all my candy?
Yeah, I need it.
Hey,
Why can't you take a
it
Milky Way or
satisfies.
Yeah, I'm not me when I'm not me when I'm hungry. Well, that's what happens. I'm about to eat after this, but I'm hungry. Yeah.
Oh, Devil's Candy.
Devil's Candy. The whole point.
Oh,
This is
hold
what
on.
happens when I'm.
Hold on. I'm not done talking about metal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Stay
yeah.
tuned
Devil's
for
Candy.
part 2.
So eventually the father ends up getting like possessed.
yeah,
Yeah.
what,
Or
with,
he's not necessarily possessed. He's not like the other guy.
I'm going to talk about some theories about this in a second, because
Okay, I'd love to hear them.
yeah, okay. So yeah, he kind of gets possessed in a way, but not really. Here's what I got from it. First off, the movie, I like it because there's a lot of alliterations to the Bible, and it's not pretentious alliterations. Meaning there's a lot of like parallels. The Devil's Candy. Like, for example, what's the name of that art Patreon? I keep saying that word today.
Patron?
Yeah, what's the name?
Patron.
What's the name of the art? What's the name of the art guy? It's like Ba or Mephisto, or he's a demon name.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you had the internet.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that came to see him?
Yeah, they came to see him, and like he goes like,
oh shit.
Anyway, he's a failed artist until he gets possessed or whatever, and he starts painting these like really elaborate and horrifying things, and finally he has like a breakthrough with one of these big art guys, and he comes to his house and he promises his daughter that he'll be there to pick her up.
yeah, that scene was really...
And
Really
he
fucked
he
up.
tells the guy, he goes,
Yeah.
"Hey, listen, buddy, I gotta go because I gotta get my daughter." And it's kind of like making a deal with the devil in a way,
Yeah.
where he's like, "If you really you want to go, wouldn't you rather stay? I mean, I am willing to put your art." It's like he has to stay and
Yeah.
be late and break a promise to his daughter.
Leonard.
And he pours him a
It's not
drink.
Leonard.
His name was Leonard. Pretty sure that's him.
No.
I don't know.
Anyway, so it's like a big thing. It's like there's a lot of parallels, and the main guy, by the way, represents Jesus, the painter. He's
Oh,
Jesus.
he looks like Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
tempted by sin, much like Jesus. He defeats, and the whole time he's possessed. You think that's what I like about this movie. You think he's possessed, but in reality, maybe there is no possession. The main bad guy, he might not be possessed at all. He might just have a mental illness, because there's no evidence that he's possessed. He could just be mental
No,
illness.
well, I mean, yeah. He could be like schizo or something.
I mean, there's no like turning of heads and all that crazy stuff. He could be just schizo, and
I mean, he acted like he was
And the-
retarded.
yeah,
I
well,
mean, he was.
Well, he
the,
had...
the way he finds a gun and he picks it up and he's holding it all
Yeah.
weird and he's like, "What does this do?"
well, yeah.
Well, see, because he's always hearing that same sound in his head. That's what I
Yeah.
gather from it.
It's
like
like-
he's
it's like
always
chanting
hearing
Latin.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his head, so it's making him go insane.
And when he's not playing guitar, that's when he goes crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, they say what I'm saying is like anyway, the main guy. You think it's not one of those movies, and again, spoilers. But like we said, we're gonna start spoiling.
Yeah, we're gonna start spoiling.
The main guy is not the bad guy. Like he's actually the protagonist. In a lot of these
Yeah.
possession movies, like
He's-
Amityville Horror, the dad or whatever goes crazy. He's the bad. He becomes the bad guy.
Yeah.
But in this case, he's not.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. He's not the bad
He's
guy.
doing what he has to do.
And it turns out he's not being possessed by an evil spirit. He's actually being possessed by a good spirit at
Yeah.
the very end. Because remember, the painting is trying to warn him. That's what the painting is. You think he's painting these horrible things that he's going to do, but it's really warning him about what this other guy has done. And then at the very end, remember how the movie ends? The very end, he goes to where
Yeah.
the guy had been killing children and burying them. And it's like the children had led him. And like there's like a ray of sun hitting him. and like he's helped these spirits moved on. So it's like it really.
Oh, I totally missed that.
It flipped it on.
I mean,
its
I
head.
knew what he was doing. I just didn't get
It flipped the whole genre on its head. That's why I liked it. It flipped the whole possessed genre on its head. You know, the main guy was not the bad guy. The bad guy may not have even been possessed to begin with. Like, he was probably schizophrenic. It's not really a possession movie. A lot of alliterations to the Bible. I mean, remember the guy's last name? The main character's last name?
No.
Hellman. Hellman.
Was it Hellman?
Yeah, seriously.
Was it really?
It's that on the nose. Hellman.
Oh, wait, hold on. The crazy guy?
No. The main character.
Oh, no, it is Hellman.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, that is on the nose.
Right? But I like the movie. And you know how
I really like the painting he did.
Which one?
The big one?
Oh, the one that shows like all those children dying or whatever?
Yeah, and like the five-eyed beast thing, and like it was badass.
Yeah, it was good. But overall, I really like The Devil's Candy. There's a lot of biblical alliterations, and they don't do it in a pretentious way. It flips everything on its head. I know we kind of spoiled it, but it's still worth a watch. I mean, if you haven't seen it.
The toward the end there, it gets super intense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I liked about it was this guy, he's unpredictable. He's obviously mentally
the bad guy.
Unstable. Yeah, the bad guy. He's mentally unstable. When he comes back to the house finally, and he needs a sacrifice, right? Mm-hmm. So he's coming back for the daughter. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's not like he has a plan. He's coming back. He's just a
and he's bad at it.
What do you call it? Just a I don't know. Words.
Insanity guy? Insane
guy? He doesn't know what he's doing. So he's just trying to go after this girl. Like I said, he finds this gun. And he's like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just going to fire it off at random and see if it hits somebody.
It does.
So, I mean, that's what's terrifying about it. It's not like someone breaking into a home with a plan, because plans can change.
Chaotic.
He's chaotic. He has no idea what he's doing, so he's just a loose cannon.
There you go.
That's the term. He's a loose cannon. He has no idea what he's doing.
He's crazy, bottled up, let loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's what made it really intense. It's like, what the fuck is this guy gonna do?
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the scenes of him killing other children. So.
Yeah.
I guess that's a thing.
Yeah. Overall, I liked it. Ratings. You want me to go first, or?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay. Out of 10, again, 5 being average, I give it 7.5, maybe an 8. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a good movie.
Yeah. I give it an 8.
I'm right there with you guys. So 5.
I mean, it was really good. There was a lot of horror to it. It was really creepy. Like, that movie actually kind of scared me a little bit.
I will say this, give it a chance, because like when I first started watching it, I was like, I'm gonna hate this. I already know I'm gonna hate it. About half hour, 45 minutes in, it started to turn for me. I really started to like it. Because it's not, like I said, it's not like a typical horror. It's all about the tension.
Yeah, the soundtrack.
The soundtrack is good.
Yeah, the soundtrack.
The soundtrack's so badass. I love it. No, one of my favorite lines in the movie, they're listening to, like, they're in the car, and it sounds like they're listening to, like, Static X or something. I don't even know what it was. But it was pretty heavy. And the wife was like, can we listen to something a little bit, just something not so heavy? And the girl in the back seat's like, maybe Metallica? And I was like, yes.
Well,
that's funny to me.
And they put on Saint Anger. So the movie sucks. Never mind.
Wait, did they put on Saint Anger?
No.
Oh.
I don't know.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, watch the
No,
movie.
there was actually good music in that movie. They didn't put on Saint Anger.
Watch the movie. If you know anything about the Bible, you'll get a lot from it. I'm not saying you have to be like a Bible. I'm just saying if you know anything about the Bible, it's really you get a lot more out of it. There's a lot of alliterations. Obviously, these two don't. Not so much.
No.
But there's a lot of alliterations to the Bible in it, and it's not overt. It's not pretentious.
If they made a movie about it, maybe I'd watch it. I don't know.
About the Bible?
I'm just saying.
They have.
Yeah.
About the whole Bible?
Yeah.
Well, the whole...
I mean, it's not one movie. There's like many movies.
I know Mel Gibson did that whole thing, but he's like, let's just do the part where they murder the Jew.
Jesus.
Oh, that's not me. That's Mel Gibson, dude.
That was you.
It's not my fault Mel Gibson's a Nazi. Lethal Weapon is great, though.
Yeah. Mel Gibson's better than Mel Brooks.
Well, you
Moving on.
bite your tongue, sir.
Let's talk about the theme. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Remake versus original for the movie
Evil Dead.
Oh, shit. Is that what we're doing?
Oh, God, no. I watched.
We're into it.
I thought it was Dawn of the Dead.
I thought it was Debbie Does Dallas.
Was there a remake? Hold on. Researching.
I thought it was Young Frankenstein. Or Frankenstein.
Jesus. You just won't drop Mel Brooks, will you? Okay, remake of my favorite, and I talked about this. My favorite.
The producers.
The producers, yeah.
What?
Evil Dead. And how I described this to BJ and Matt was Evil Dead is like my horror version of Star Wars. Like, I love the trilogy. It's like a great trilogy. It's probably my favorite trilogy.
Wait, which Star Wars trilogy?
The original. Come on. I don't like the new one, and I don't like the prequels, so...
The prequels are the original.
Oh, my God. No, they're not. Okay. So, Evil Dead. That's this episode. We all watched the original Evil Dead for like the millionth time. But we all watched it recently, so it's fresh.
A millionth time this week.
Yeah. And then we watched the remake just before we actually recorded. We all three were together watching it.
Yeah.
Making snide comments.
Yes, we did a little research.
Yeah. So how should we do this? Should we talk about the original first, you think?
Yeah.
I
We'll talk about the original and then...
I mean, I don't think... I like
You're
how
the one with the
we're
notes.
discussing how we're doing this now.
Well, you're the one with the notes.
Oh, yeah, I got some notes.
How do you want to do it? I mean, we can do it either way.
I mean, we just compare and contrast. And,
Okay, so
we'll
we'll compare and contrast. Original first.
So the original movie, it's good, and there's Ash, and he does stuff, and he's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
In the first movie.
In the first movie,
he becomes amazing in the second movie, and then the third movie, and then the show.
Okay. The first movie, Evil Dead, it's a cult classic, obviously. It's very low budget.
Yeah.
Was made in 79, but aired in 81, I believe. I think it was released in 81. I think it was, they did it in 79.
I think it was 83.
Was it 83?
It says the 15th of April, 1983.
Okay.
I think they shot it in 79.
Yeah.
And then it
took a while.
It took them a while for it to actually come to the States.
That is something that we need to mention right there.
Oh, it's NC-17?
That's
originally it was.
Yeah,
NC-17.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a thing back then.
because there was no rated R back then.
Yeah, there was no R.
There was G and PG. That was it.
Yeah, so this
shit, Airplane
PG
is rated PG.
was there PG-13?
Yeah.
I can't remember how. There was R. There was no PG-13. That's what it was. There was no PG-13.
Yeah.
And so NC-17 in the original release, like what country was it? Did it first air in?
That I don't know.
Oh, it's just saying on top.
It got popular over in like France or some shit.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't. I'm surprised.
Oh.
Here's the thing.
USA.
I'm just gonna jump right into it. Here's why I think it's
please.
NC-17. I think of the tree rape. Right? It has to be. That's why it's NC-17.
That the breasts, the exposed
breasts,
the exposed breasts.
There's a little bit of that, yeah. But I mean, there's been it should be rated R. Then I mean, there's movies that have more nudity that are rated R in the 70s and 80s.
That's for true.
So I think it's really because I mean, there's a graphic. I mean, not really that graphic, but by that time standard, there's a rape scene with a tree, and that's kind of how it kicks off the whole thing. She's raped by these spirits, and she becomes possessed by deadites.
Sorry, this is a little delayed, but Spain, France, and UK had actually got more recognition. They aired it first in the US.
Yeah,
but that was like that was the premiere.
Yeah.
That was a local showing, and
Right.
like it didn't really get as much attention. But once it got over to Europe, they liked it a lot more.
Well, this movie got banned in a lot of countries too.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. I'm telling you, I think it's.
Well, I think this movie actually started the whole rating.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
I mean, this really pushed boundaries. I mean, again, if you've never seen it, what are you doing? I mean, like I said, this is my favorite, not just movie, but trilogy. Like, they're all good. The very first, I mean, it's like I was telling you guys, it's like visually beautiful to me. Like it's like a masterpiece visually. I mean,
And
the
it
low
is,
budget
yeah.
for what they were able to do, and if you've ever seen any Sam Raimi movie that's not Spider-Man, you should know his style. I mean, he does a lot of like
Spider-Man 3, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know his style. You know Sam Raimi's style. It's like over the top, graphic, violent, all that. So
Just over the top blood. I mean, there's always blood and gore. It's just, I mean, that's part of his thing.
So, the very first movie, Evil Dead, I like it. I mean, obviously, you have they go to this cabin. They read from the Necronomicon. They awaken evil spirits called Deadites or Kandarian demons, depending on how you want to word it. I believe if you're possessed by a Kandarian demon, that's what you're called, a Deadite.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, Kandarian demons are the ones, and then when someone's possessed by one, then they're a Deadite.
Yeah. But they find this book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they find the
Book
book
of the Dead.
but
Necronomicon.
But the big difference is, because we're talking about this in the remake, how the spirits are awakened. It's not because the book is read; it's because they listen to a recording, right?
In the original.
Yes, in the original.
Yeah.
There's a
Which
recording.
wasn't their fault. I mean, they just played it, and they were,
Yeah.
like, having fun. They didn't think anything of it. And the new one, this dumb dick dude was like, let me read a book out loud.
What a dumb dick bastard.
As you were saying, who the fuck reads out loud?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, unless you're reading to kids or something.
Yeah, I mean-
or you're in school, they're saying, hey, read the next paragraph out loud.
Yeah, when you're learning how to read for the first time. I mean, I told you, who reads out loud after the age of 12?
Yeah, I'm reading stuff right now, and I'm not reading it out loud to everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, in the remake, he reads out loud, and because of that, he awakens the.
Well, in the remake, they go to the cabin to help out their friend. Mm-hmm. Whereas the original, they go out to party.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should talk about
Yeah, let's just start comparing. I mean, there's no need.
Start doing comparisons.
Yeah. So the remake, the original, they're going out to party. The remake, it's their friend is weaning off of heroin, and so they want her to go cold turkey, and they think the middle of nowhere at their old parents'
That's
cabin.
a good way to wean off heroin.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even weaning off heroin.
It's just going cold turkey. So the new one, she's like a heroin addict that's going through withdrawals, and that's kind of interesting because in this new one, they kind of think that she's not possessed; it's that she's going through withdrawals.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
She is going through withdrawals at first.
At first,
I mean, it starts out with her acting crazy because of withdrawals.
but
then things take
she
a
gets
turn.
possessed, and they still think she's going through withdrawals.
Yeah.
That was the twist of the movie. I was like, oh my god,
she gets possessed.
she gets possessed. I didn't see that coming.
Just like in the original, she gets raped by a tree. Kind of. It's
Zach's
my
favorite scene.
My favorite scene.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, it's much more tame, which kind of shows you the times. You'd think in today's society we'd be able to show more, but now it
was about the same. They just didn't show a boob this time.
No, I mean it was different.
I mean, the trees maybe were a little bit more
wasn't-
aggressive in the original.
Yeah, very much aggressive. She was
I don't know
raped.
why
She
we're
wasn't.
talking about this.
No, there was no actual rape. I mean, I'm not saying.
Oh,
it
it just
needs
went
to be.
inside.
No,
No,
just
just
like
went inside of her.
Yeah, but that was like
But-
her possession
but the
was
thing-
it went
here's-
inside of her
and I-
through a certain hole.
And I get it, yeah, and I get it. Like in the original, though, it's a big deal because the tree, like, it's psychologically fucking her up as well as possessing her. This is just kind of like but the other, that's much more horrifying, I think, in the first one. Now I know Sam Raimi has now said on the record that he regrets that scene. By the way,
Really?
Yeah.
he regrets that scene.
It's like one of the most famous scenes of that movie.
Right? I mean, it kind of is.
Well, we kind of apologize. Yeah.
Yeah,
Apologizes
he
for it.
apologizes for it, saying it's a little more graphic than it should
Well,
have
look at the
been.
movies that have come out since.
Well, it's
Yeah,
because it
come on.
became popular, and
Yeah,
Well, those kind of movies weren't really.
I mean, if he
things
wasn't,
then.
I mean,
Well, there was like
he didn't
Spin
make
Out
anything
Grave,
else
which
after
I think
that.
was before that, but that was a whole.
yeah.
That was
I Spend Your
All
Grave
about
was
that.
yeah. I Spend Your Grave was 76 or 78. I can't remember.
something like that.
Yeah, so I Spend Your Grave was at least 3 or 4 years before Evil Dead. So yeah,
Right, that movie's fucked up though, and the whole thing is based on that.
yeah. So anyway, that's besides the point. I'm just saying that's what kicks it all off in the original is the tree rape. I mean, that's what starts the possession chain, if you will.
yeah.
78, by the way.
78.
So it was like right before they started shooting.
Yeah. Cheryl in the original, Mia in the remake. They all have different names, by the way. So that's why Matt and I were talking. I think Brad, you were talking too. Is this a remake or is this more like a sidequel? A sidequel.
A sidequel?
It's not a sequel.
I think it's a sidequel.
It's both a remake and a sequel, I feel.
Yeah,
It's,
because
There are a lot of similarities, but
it pays homage to the original quite a bit. Homage.
One day you'll say homage. There's no H.
I mean, I still call hors d'oeuvres hordivores.
Hordivores. They do pay a lot of homage to
Homage.
to the original, like
It's French.
in the remake, the car, the
Delta.
the Delta,
yeah,
Oh
she's
yeah, that was
That's
like,
in the background.
right at the
It's all
beginning.
old
Yeah,
and
the remake
dilapidated.
looks great.
yeah, she's sitting on the Delta while smoking a cigarette.
So there's that. There's I don't know.
He gives her the necklace.
Gives her the necklace.
The same necklace. Well, very similar
Very
necklace.
similar.
It's the little
spyglass or looking.
yeah, the looking glass, the same that Alice
glass.
had.
Yes.
I don't know. Did they ever really explain why it was a little
No. I think in the remake they kind of do, saying that she always believed in that shit. That's what he said.
believed in what?
Well,
shit?
it's supposed to
Seeing
bring
tiny
wellness.
things
It's
closer.
supposed to, no, as Matt said, it's supposed to bring wellness.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I don't know why. I mean, it's just a little
it's just a
magnifying
movie.
glass,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean the original versus remake. There's a lot of homages. There's a lot of I would say it's a sidequel and a remake, both. You're right, because none of them have the same name, right? I mean, the main character's
Yeah,
not
they
named
don't.
Ash.
This could very well be a sequel that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a whole different group of people, similar events. I mean,
Well-
the Delta's there. If this is this could be a direct sequel. Like, okay, the original movie, they show up, they all get possessed and they all die, and the car is still there, and then they show up later, like, huh, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
I get it. I get it.
but there was the reference of when the girl gets possessed, the first possession, and one of them says, "What happened to her eyes?"
oh, her eyes.
Yeah, which it was very overacted in the original movie.
Yeah, it was great
the
though
original
in the
movie's not-
No,
original.
it's
Yeah.
fantastic. The acting is terrible in the
I
original.
mean, it made
but
so-
I fucking love it.
Made it more creepy. Like her eyes. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean, the original is not known for its acting. It's known for the visual craziness.
yeah.
I mean, the overtop visual
I mean,
gore.
none of them knew what they were doing. That was Sam Raimi's first film.
Yeah, it
they
was
were
like-
all amateur actors.
Wasn't it like right out of college, or was
And
that
they
even
killed
part of
it.
college?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
I
It
just
was-
read his the book too.
Yeah, it was like. But okay, I'm going to talk real quick about the remake. The remake. Here's what I'm going to say about the remake.
What about the remake?
The remake.
What are you going to say about the remake, Zach?
I'm going to remake the remake and talk about the remake.
Oh my god. Talk about it.
It's good, right? But I don't know how I feel. Like if it was not connected at all to the Evil Dead series, I think it'd be great. But because I'm always going to make
absolutely.
comparisons to the original,
Yeah.
I think it does it an injustice. I really do, because I think on its own merits, it could have been its own movie. They have a few homages, but other than that,
If we're doing ratings, I want to talk about that at the end.
Okay.
For sure.
yeah. So I mean, that's how I feel about the remake. It's just it's good on its own, but like you can't help but to go, it's not the original,
Yeah.
And it's unfair because it can stand on its own for its own movie. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's different enough. I mean, it's your standard fare of possession, which I want to talk about. The difference of how they look with possession.
Yes.
Deadites versus I wouldn't even call these people Deadites in the remake.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
They just look like regular possessed people.
Yeah, the
You know
eyes
how
are.
people
Yeah, I
normally
mean-
look when they're possessed.
yeah, the eyes are different and their skin tone's different.
From personal
They're more
experience.
pale and
Where in the original Evil Dead, he goes over the top, and it's like obviously it's like cheesy, but in a good way. Like
yeah,
how
they
look.
have like rotting flesh, and then
Well,
the eyes are all white. And,
A big thing about the original movie when they shot it, the eyes, that was a huge issue because they were glass contact lenses.
Right.
And apparently they were very painful
Yeah.
to keep in their eyes. They couldn't keep them in for more than... It took like 15 minutes to put them in.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even hold them in for more than 15 minutes.
Right.
So,
that sounds painful.
yeah. So it was a huge issue with them in the contact lenses. And so that's why it was kind of a big issue in the movie. It's like they made that more of an issue, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. That was a big part of the film was the eyes. Like,
Yeah.
they were all white out. And,
Yeah. I mean, what else with the possessions? Matt, you mentioned you weren't a fan of like how they acted compared to the original and the remake.
Oh yeah, there were more. The Deadites in the original were more quirky and they said a lot of things.
Like it was like
more
cheesy, funny, but like scary in a way.
Yeah. Like when what was his name? Eric.
In the remake?
Yeah, in the
Eric,
remake, the guy with the long hair.
Yeah,
when
his
Eric
name is
gets
Eric
possessed, like he doesn't say anything.
No.
And I was like, well, he should have said something like,
I don't know. Yeah.
He didn't say anything about reading from the book. Is that what you're saying?
No, he didn't say anything as a Deadite. Like he was like, it was no like.
I mean, Deadites always say something.
Like the Deadites
gotcha,
taunt
gotcha.
you. That's the whole point. Is to taunt you.
Like I
original.
will
like dead by dawn. You know.
I'll swallow your soul.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing.
and they don't say anything.
They
in the
mock
remake.
Ash the entire time in the original, like saying how like anytime he says anything, like the eye, like they're like mocking you, kind of. And in the remake, not so much. They're going for more of a creepy vibe.
Well, they just like stare at you.
Yeah.
Only the main girl, Mia.
Yes.
She was the only one that really mocked them.
Yes.
Like, come down here and let me suck your cock.
Which I told you I get some Exorcist vibes from. Because it's like, your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then she also said that your sister's being raped in hell. I'm like,
yeah.
they're taking stuff from The Exorcist right now.
Yeah, that's a little too personal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard, the original, they're both good movies. We're all going to say that.
I like that they did the whole blade lick a little bit more terrifyingly.
Yeah, so talk about the original versus the remake blade lick.
The original one, she's sitting there, she's licking down the side of the blade, she's licking off the blood, but in this remake, it's an actual, like, box cutter blade, and she just shoves her tongue right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things I love about the remake is the cringe factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the few movies, this is one reason I actually really love the remake, is it actually makes me cringe, which is hard to do with movies.
Right, no.
Especially these
I'm the
days.
same way.
So, yeah, you see her stick her tongue through that blade, and it's just like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Pretty sure I say it exactly like that. Ew!
Yeah, what's the other? Well, the other one was when she's stabbing him with a needle. In the remake.
The cringe factor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Stabbing him right in the eye with a needle.
Yeah.
Like through his glasses, just, oh, God.
Also, the
bad.
nail gun in the remake is pretty cringy.
Nail gun!
Yeah, the nail gun was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw that, and I was like, oh, fuck, no! And she keeps shooting him, and he puts his arm up, and the nails are going through his arm.
Yeah, sticking to his chest, weren't they?
Yeah,
but I
he stuck
find
his
it-
arm to his chest. Like, nailed it to his chest.
Well, we had this discussion. I was like, wait, did we see her, like, using the nail gun before? Like, did they shoot her with the nail gun? Because she comes out with a face full of nails. It's like she was a toddler that found a nail gun and first shot her face a few times.
Yeah.
How does this work?
Yeah, what is this thing?
Yeah.
And then she's like, all right, I got this. I'm going to shoot someone else with it now.
It could have been, maybe it was a cut scene, You know how that works. I didn't make the cutting room floor.
No, it made it comical for me. Because she just comes out with a face full of nails. Like, you didn't know how to use that thing at first, did you?
Yeah. What else about the remake versus original we can talk about? You have notes.
Yeah, I do.
Note taker.
The hands.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I feel like it pays homage to the second movie as well as the original.
Yes,
like,
near the end especially.
Yeah, more toward like the second half. It's like a lot of second
The hand
Evil
possession.
Yeah.
hand possession. Yes. However, I feel like it was two different things with that, because the one girl, her hand gets possessed. She cuts off her entire arm.
Because it's spreading. Yeah.
Yes, but then later on in the remake, the girl rips her own hand off, and it's just the hand.
Yeah.
And she buries her arm in her shoulder, and then she has the chainsaw, which is a lot
more
like Ash.
Evil Dead 2.
It's very Ash.
The Mia, the main possessed
Yes.
girl, she gets unpossessed through. I think it's one of the stupidest parts of the movie. Her becoming unpossessed makes no sense. But
she dies.
She dies and comes back. Yeah,
that's why I was thinking, like, she dies, he brings her back.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of bullshit anyway. He
Right.
like rigs some kind of weird defibrillator with,
I mean, that was
couple of needles.
That was kind of like the same thing with the remake and also in the second one, where he kind of like rigs it up and grabs all like the utensils and stuff.
Well, he does that
it...
in like the second and the third one. Remember, he does that to his Delta.
Yeah.
Remember, he like there's a montage of him like taking all this stuff and rigging out his Delta.
Oh, he makes a tank out of it.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it that way.
So it brings homage to that also in the remake.
Yeah, because it shows him doing all that. Like he like looks around. Like it's just like it almost reminded me of they took inspiration from Raimi and his camera style. Like it's like whipping around closely, looking at all the different things as he's grabbing them, and he's like putting them together to make a.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. How the original one it was very innovative, I suppose.
Yeah,
with Sam Raimi's his
signature.
Yeah, the style in which he shot things.
Yeah,
and even when I was reading Bruce Campbell's book, he was saying how like they'd be shooting and they were thinking, why are you doing it like this? This is crazy. And then when they were going back and editing and looking at it, they're like, oh, this actually turned out really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I see what you're doing now.
The camera angles.
It's at the time, it's all in the director's head. They're like, okay, I got an idea. Nobody understands what's going on.
Right.
But,
I mean, think about the Kandarian demons. You never see them. You only see from their point of view.
Oh, yeah.
As the possession comes at them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, it's revolutionary.
Even you said at one point, you're like, what's with this angle right here? And then it moves, and it's like, oh, that was neat.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They do a lot of that. I mean, I like the visuals. Like I said, it's hard to versus because both movies are so good, but
it's hard to compare to the original because it's a classic.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And it's
I'm going to say it wasn't a remake.
So our first episode, we're already cheating and saying this is not a remake.
No remake.
Surprise!
Yeah. It's a side quel / remake.
Yeah,
it's both. I mean, because again, the characters don't have even the same names. They don't even have the same motivations or character personality. They don't have.
Yeah, and they say it was their mom's cabin.
Yeah, it was. I mean, even.
Matt's going to write a whole fan fiction about this.
About the
Stay
tuned for that.
Matt was like putting together like what's going on, like are they related to the doctor from the first Evil Dead, the guy who found the Kandarian?
I'm not gonna lie, that would be interesting though.
That would,
if it would be like from,
I think that's what they were trying to do.
Like even like the second movie. Oh wait, no, the woman died in the second movie. I don't know. Anyway, if there's some crazy connection, that would be kind of interesting. But one of my favorite lines in it, like right at the end there, I thought was really neat was. It was super neat, guys. Mm-hmm. When she says, she's like, I'm going to feast on your soul. Yeah. I'm like, that is not correct, madam.
Wrong,
miss. Like, they changed it for some reason, because obviously it's, I'll swallow your soul.
Right.
And that's from the second movie.
Well, it's because... Yeah.
What, they didn't have the rights to that line?
Well, I don't know. I mean...
Everyone... that was a part of the original movie was a part of this one. Yeah. They were all like co-producers. But she's like, I'll feast on your soul. And then Mia goes, feast on this. Just as Bruce Campbell said, swallow this. And then shoots her in the mouth after she says, I'll swallow your soul.
Okay.
I love that part. It gets me every time.
Yeah.
Any other major differences or notes you want to talk about?
The necklace.
Yes.
The necklace.
Yes. I was going to remind you on that one.
I don't know why. It's such a little thing, but I love it so much.
So at the end of the Evil Dead 1, the necklace forms the shape of a
skull.
Yeah.
So the chain is wrapped around in a specific shape of a skull, and then they actually do that later on in what?
Oh, nothing. I'm just thinking.
You're shaking your head at
No,
me.
I'm just thinking of something. Sorry.
That's not right. That's
sorry.
not right.
Sorry, I was daydreaming. I was shaking my head. I just thought of something that angered me. Go on.
Oh, okay. Well, the original movie, at one point, he reaches for the necklace so he can grab the book with it, and it's in the shape of a skull. And then in the remake,
it's just on the ground.
Well, just watched it, and I can't
the thing is, she actually tears up the necklace, and it comes back together.
All of a sudden, it was like repaired.
And she looks. It's just on the ground. She knows it's on the ground. That's it, and it's in the shape of a skull.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, great. I mean, it's
Really,
another homage.
I don't know why. It's
a great
I
homage.
blew my load over that scene. I was like, oh!
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, like how we feel about the original versus the
Dude,
remake.
I'm really sensitive about my weight. Come on.
Yeah.
So are we going to give both movies a rating?
We'll give both
or-
movies a rating, and
Okay.
then we're going to say which one we prefer, obviously. I
Oh.
mean, the rating should obviously... But you never know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, well, technically this is better, but I really prefer...
All right. Spoiler, I give one an 11 and the other one an 11.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I'm going to have words with that. Here's I'll go first. The original, 10. That's a given. I always say this is my Star Wars. This is everything. I love the original.
10!
Evil Dead 2 a 10, Evil Dead 3, a.k.a. Army of Darkness, honestly a 10, but I might give it a 9.5 because it's genre bending. It's not the same genre. It's a whole different movie. So, okay, the remake. So 10's the original. The
Genre
remake,
bending.
yeah, the remake I give an 8.5. It's a good movie. If it wasn't tied to the Evil Dead franchise, I might even give it like a 9.5.
Yeah.
But I can't help but compare it because it's different enough where it's like your typical possession movie, but then there's homages where it's like, yeah, this is Evil Dead, but I don't get the whole Evil Dead vibe from it for some reason. It's much more darker and serious in tone. And Evil Dead's about over-the-top violence, wackiness,
Evil Dead 2 is.
Yeah, Evil Dead 1 is to some extent.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 knocks it up like a notch.
So,
There's a
hold on,
talking moose head.
You're comparing the remake to the original.
Yes.
The remake was supposed to be super dark.
Yes.
The original was supposed to be dark as well.
Well, yeah,
it's
the
second Evil Dead that was supposed to be
right,
over
but
top.
the original, the first one's still much more lighthearted in ways. I mean, it's like, the way they taunt and like the visual, like almost like slapstick humor, like where he falls and like, I don't know, it's not as...
Yeah, there's none of that.
It doesn't take itself too seriously. The original is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The remake does, and that's not bad. It's different, and that's why, to me, I mean, it's a good movie. Like if the remake was its own thing and it wasn't called Evil Dead, it was called some heroin smack addict gets possessed. I would think it's better, but because I'm comparing it,
I would watch that movie. Some heroin smack addict gets possessed.
but it's one of my Evil Dead series is one of my genre defining. It's one of the things that really got me into horror, like as a huge fan. Like I'd been in it before, but Evil Dead's like really what sucked me in.
You look like you have a tear in your eye.
I do. Matt, what do you think?
I give the original a 10 out of 10, and I give the remake a 10 out of 10 also.
Oh,
I loved it. When I first heard they were going to do a remake of it, I didn't really have high expectations for it.
very skeptical.
Yeah.
I know I was.
Well, I was like, oh, okay, they're going to fuck it up and, whatever, but I'm still going to like it just because huge fan of the, Evil Dead series.
Haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to like it whether or not.
Yeah, pretty much. And it blew my expectations.
Right.
And I fucking loved it. And yeah.
All right. So, the way I look at it, Evil Dead, 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one of my favorite movies. So, the remake, I'm going to go with you, Matt, and say I also give it a 10 out of 10. In that, in the past decade, considering, it, like you said, Zach, if it is a standalone movie, I think it is one of the best horror movies that have come out in the past decade. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One of the best.
Yeah.
Okay, it's one of my top 5 favorite movies, horror movies that have come out in the last decade, I would say. I don't know, right off the top of my head anyway. Like you said, it's got that cringe factor to it. Like, even for me, that cringe factor doesn't really exist in other movies, but this movie really has. It's like, oh, God. Like, why would you do that?
Right.
So, no, I think it's an absolutely fantastic movie. Like you were saying, standalone movie, it's phenomenal as a remake / sequel-ish.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it more of a 9.
Okay.
But as a standalone, I just think it's a fantastic film. I think they did a great job with it.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, The visuals are fantastic.
Yeah.
It got a little cheesy right at the end.
Yeah.
Like when she's sawing up the girl at the end, it's like, okay, that's a dummy.
Yeah.
It's obviously a dummy.
Yeah.
But I mean, she like puts a chainsaw in the head, and the rest of the body's just kind of flapping around. But anyway, no.
Okay.
All in all, it's a great film. It's intense. It's good visuals.
It was great.
Cringeworthy. It's
real
fun.
quick, we're gonna go around the room. Which we prefer? Just say you see either original or remake.
Oh no, fuck that. No,
Yep, we're gonna
original.
Original for BJ.
Really?
Original.
And that makes 3 original.
Yeah, because there is that one factor.
Yeah.
Ash.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Bruce Campbell really does make the series. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly thought you were going to say the tree rape scene.
Oh, that's a close second. I was debating this whole episode whether the tree rape scene or.
So okay, so the original one, and that's not always going to be the case with these because we've already talked about this. There's a couple cases where like the original versus remake where we prefer the remake.
Mm-hmm.
I know
that's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
So we don't
it's
want you to
movies
think that
that are
we
at least-
only like originals.
Yeah, no, these are movies that are at least on par, if not better.
Yes.
But this movie, I would say, is on par.
It's on par, but again,
In its own way.
Well,
yes.
In its own way.
I actually wanted to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
When you guys heard that there was going to be an Evil Dead remake, were you both excited about it?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I was excited, but I didn't want to be. I was like,
Yeah.
why would you do this? But I still went and saw it, and
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that was part of it. I had low expectations.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I thought it was great.
All right. So for the first episode, the winner is original. Evil Dead Original 1, but the remake is good. It's not a bad movie by any means.
I would say great.
It's great in its own right.
Yeah.
But I don't like comparing it to Evil Dead. That's the issue I have.
Well, that's gonna be all these though.
I know, but
They're,
like
they're all classic
some
films.
remakes are closer than others. Case in point, The Hills Have Eyes up until the last 10 minutes is almost a shot for shot remake in a lot of cases.
Oh, that will be an episode.
That will be an episode. The Hills Have Eyes original versus remake. It's very similar until the last 10 minutes of the remake.
Oh yeah.
It veers off.
Well, I think our next one's going to be Black Christmas.
Black Christmas is the
Yes.
next one, which I've seen both, but it's been a while, so I can't remember which one I
I need to
preferred.
rewatch them. Yeah. Well, actually, see the first one.
Wait, you haven't seen the first one?
I have not seen the first
Oh,
one.
dude. We're gonna have to have a movie.
Well,
night.
the original, I should say,
So
not
yeah.
the first one. Yeah.
So-
no, yes.
Again,
first
before
one,
we
I think
sign
it's
off, follow us on our Twitter, Facebook. We have a Patreon. We're going to be reworking. I actually post on the Patreon pretty much every day if you want other news updates. Instagram is about to be more of a thing we're going to be using more. Just follow us.
We're still working on that
Yeah,
one, but
give
we
us
will get it up.
Give us some feedback. Next episode will be a special Thanksgiving episode.
Yes!
So we're gonna. It's going to be published next week.
It's actually just going to be us making sounds of us eating. We're just going to be eating, and you're just going to be listening to the
think
sounds.
we set on we're going to release it next Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I said we'd
Yeah,
do a special
talking about
episode
that.
of
Yeah.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
where we're eating.
There you go.
No, seriously. just breathing heavily, just chowing
So
down.
next episode will be a very special Thanksgiving-based horror comedy. If you don't know what it is, you're in for a treat.
Yes.
Okay, so we want you to watch along with us. So go ahead and watch Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So we can spoil the shit out of it. We can listen to us when we think about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was going to be the main topic of our next episode.
Yes, Thanksgiving is the next topic. Watch it. We also post a list of movies that we are going to review for our Terror Dispatch, so you can watch those along with us, so you're not spoiled.
I think I think it's really easy to find too, because it's not on Netflix, it's not on Amazon Prime, it's not on Hulu, so it's not easy at all.
There's ways to find it if you're
You
clever.
download it.
Yeah.
Just type in Thanksgiving free watch,
Stream.
blah blah blah. You know,
All right,
all you
guys.
pirates out there.
So
Whatever.
we're going to do an official sign-off instead of that whole joke where I cut off because Brad got upset last
Oh,
time.
by the way, happy Halloween for for all of you that didn't get to hear it at the end of the last episode.
We'll see if we see Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, anyway, this is Zach. I need a sign-off phrase. This is Zach fucking off.
I like it.
Fucking your blood.
This is Matt fucking off.
I'm Brad the Impaler. Impaling
I'm also Matt the Impaler.
I'm Zach the Impaler. This has been the Horrormongers. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, we look forward to posting our next episode Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving.
Also, I want the last word. Bye.